Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Anheuser-Busch Productions. We're bringing you round 2 coverage of the Blind Hog Thanksgiving Throwdown here in beautiful Waynesville, North Carolina at the Waynesville Country Club Inn and Golf Resort and Spa and all types of great things. As always, I'm joined with my broadcasting partner, Paul Rankin, aka Paul Kevin. Go ahead and say hey to everybody, Paul.
Hey everybody, excited to see round 2.
Yep, and we got Chris Dickerson and Wes Monty still on the card. We also got Ryan Jenkins and Danny Nez that have worked their way up here. Both of them shot 10 under first round.
Yeah, really impressive showing from all these guys. Their scores are pretty close, so should be an exciting conclusion. Wes is first off the tee, and looks like he's corrected from round 1 where he didn't quite get enough on his drive. Looks to be right inside the circle there for his birdie to start the day.
You can see it's warmed up. Chris was bundled up first round. Now he's shorts and t-shirt out, repping the Prodigy disc as always. He yanked.
Yeah, it looks like he's throwing a putter down there.
Yeah, he yanked it first round. This round, definite correction. He is underneath it. Ryan Jenkins, young kid, going to my alma mater, Western. And he's a pretty good player. He pulls that one well left, though. He's left himself probably 50 feet or so for a birdie.
Yeah, it looked like he was going with the Spikeheiser approach. See how Danny Nez attacks this one. Yeah, looks like he may be sailing left as well.
Yeah, roughly the same shot, that one left. He catches the tree, which slows him down from going out of bounds, though, which is good. And there's Jenkins' putt, sailing over.
See if Danny can hit a long one to start his day.
I can't tell if it's the hill or if he's on a knee. It's the hill. Oh, no, he was on a knee.
Combination of both.
Yep. Now we got Wes stepping up. Oh, no, what was that? He just pushed that one up all the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty short putt, and unfortunately he was not particularly close on his attempts. So maybe just some jitters. Trying to keep pace with Chris is no easy feat. Hopefully he can clean that up.
Definitely not. And I mean, whenever you tie the guy first round, it's got to be wearing on you a little bit. Chris, though, he's looking to take the outright lead here, starting on hole 1 of the second round. Put up and good from him.
Yeah, good no-nonsense birdie from him. Really surprising to see him take the only 2 on the card.
Wasn't he the number 1 putter from inside the circle this past year?
It would not surprise me.
I think there was a UDisc stat that had that on there. I mean, he's just, you get him close and he makes just about every single one of them.
Yeah, huge shout out. Those statistics are a great source of information. I think that Michael Johansson may have been top on that list. But,
maybe.
Either way, Chris is solid from inside and outside the circle. He's a great putter.
So there you go, Dickerson. He's actually at 13 under par. I believe that's a mistake on my part right there. Should say 13 under par instead of 12. But now we're on to hole 2. We watched him throw a roller onto the green first round. Looks like he might be lining up more of an air shot this round.
Yeah, and unfortunately the roller was on the ball golf green, which is OB, not the disc golf green. So looks like he may just be trying to take that risk out of play. Maybe won't have a shot at a 2 like he may have had from the roller, but just trying to take the 4 out of play.
Yep, which he has. He's now more in 3 territory. He's faded off left, but it's a pretty easy hyzer shot from over there. And Wes, that's a nice looking shot right there. He's in very easy up and down range.
Yeah, that looked like just a good stability choice. Just enough flip up to keep it nice and straight, but never worried about turning towards the OB. Looks like Ryan might have thrown that one a little bit lower than he intended.
Danny, he gets a very nice rip on this one. That's the perfect amount of turn. Just short of that bunker. Pretty easy up and down from there, I'd say. See if he can do it. Oh, he left that one well short left.
And that's never a good feeling when you have such a great drive like that and can't finish on your second shot. Looks like Wes won't have too much trouble there. He did miss his short putt on hole 1, but I'm pretty sure he'll clean that one up.
I didn't realize he tombstoned.
Yeah, Chris's disc is sticking up out of the ground, spiked in at the end.
You can see the Mario 1-up mushroom on it. Throwing a skip shot. leaves himself a bit of a tester. I think he's right inside. And we missed Ryan's second shot. This is actually his third shot going up there, so he has to tap in par.
Mm. Yeah, and he is taking par, but this is a hole where par is not the score that you want to take. These players are really expecting to 3 this hole.
Pretty much every par 4 out here you want to get a birdie on. Like 3 is what you need to get to stick with it in this pro group for sure.
Chris trying to keep pace with the pace that you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm. See if you can do it. Yep, never a doubt. I mean, that's about as center gets.
Yeah, really solid putt from him. And you can sort of tell that he's putting confidently so far this tournament. He's missed a couple jump putts, but I would say nothing that he's really expected to make. It's been solid all day.
Now the scores are correct. Chris Dickerson is at 14 under after hole 2 of the second round. Wes 13, Jenkins and Nez at 10, and now we're on to hole 3, kind of that tweener par 4. Plays closer to 520 though, well uphill. Just make sure you stay right of the path and not in a bunker. Looks like Chris, he's probably going to line up that same air shot he threw first round, see if he can't correct a little bit more to the left this time. Stepping up, probably a D1 of sorts, and this one just gets turned over out of his hand.
Yeah, really surprising. You had mentioned that he was trying to correct off the previous round, and it looks like he made the same mistake, but even to a greater degree this round.
Wes, though,
hard to tell. Being first off the tee, there may have been some wind out there that he didn't have a read on. Wes, maybe he did get the wind read. Solid shot from him. May have a long look at an eagle.
It was a little bit more windy this second round, I can attest to that. But honestly, the day's conditions were quite great. I mean, the wind was no more than 5 miles an hour at any given time for the most part. It might have gusted up to 10 at some points, but it was a pretty easygoing November day here in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah. Solid shots from Ryan and Danny. Now we'll see if Chris can put this one close. From the distance and the angle that he left himself, this is not really an easy approach with the OB there. Of course, he's going to make me seem like a fool saying that as he puts it right next to the basket, but
anytime
good recovery from him.
Anytime you say something's not easy with Chris, I think he makes most people look like a fool, so no worries, Paul. I forgive you.
Well, thank you.
Danny,
good upshot from Danny.
Yeah, Wes, he's looking to follow suit. Potentially dunk one in if he can. Heiser shot, that one's going to end up close by. Kind of miss where it ends up, but I think it's fine.
And Ryan from just about 4 feet in front of Wes.
Mm-hmm. Little Heiser putter, and no problem.
Yeah, great touch.
So Wes left himself maybe a little bit more than he wanted. It's about a 20-footer, but he handles it nicely.
Yeah, scoops it in. Good putt from him.
Yeah, Wes, he's kind of known for putting extremely hard. He's actually toned back on his putting in years past. He used to basically, it was either it's going in or it's going 60 feet past. So he has toned back on his putting, and it looks a whole lot better now, and I've got to hand it to him. He's getting a whole lot better, too.
Yeah, he's been putting solid all tournament. Hope to see him keep that up as the round goes on. Chris, after his errant drive, has just got this short little tap in to clean up. He does that well. It looks like we're headed towards the star frame here.
Yeah. As long as Jenkins can make this maybe 12-footer or so.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too soon, but I have all the confidence in the world in Ryan for the putt.
Well, good thing for you. He's got it. Now, I'm a little bit upset at Ryan for not being older or me being younger because I would have loved to have had him on my disc golf team whenever I was at Western because that's where he goes to school now. But, hey, good for the kid. Hopefully he can get the disc golf program back going out there. Now we're on to hole 4, which is a 423-foot downhill par 3. Probably plays closer to 375, but it's a hyzer all the way, and you just got to make sure you miss some trees down there. That's the big get on this hole. You got that one pine tree out on the right-hand side. If you can swoop in left of that with some hyzer, you're probably going to leave yourself inside the circle putting too.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is going with some kind of driver here. doing the play that you described to a T, maybe left it a little left, but
Yeah.
where he skipped out, he's probably not going to have much in his way, and he'll have a 30-foot putt or so for his birdie.
Wes, it started off on a good line, straightened out a little bit on him. If he misses the tree, it's okay, but he catches it.
Yeah, and you can see that headwind is starting to rip here for Ryan. Looks like he made a good disc selection, something that was sure to come out even with that wind, and puts it right by the basket. Great shot.
I think he's 5 feet or so. That's tap-in range. Danny looking for a little flip. Maybe not that much flip. Uh-oh. He's over there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to drive that one low and not give the wind a chance to mess with it, but still didn't quite have enough fade on that shot for it to come back towards the pin. Now he's got a long jumper for his 2.
Some locals in the background right there, watching on with awe. Danny, though, he's just going to lay up, grab a 3. Chris, though, he's not looking for a 3. Wants to get this hole for a second round in a row. Maybe from 40 to 45. Oh, no. Just low.
Just low, and really surprising to me to see him go with a standard putt from that distance. I would expect a step putt or some kind of jump putt from him that he's been so successful with.
I'm not sure if the wind was just going enough to cause somewhat of worry with the step putt. I don't know. I was very surprised to see it as well. Either way, he's going to have to tap out a par on this hole. And giving the box to young man Jenkins right there. Picks up the solo bird. Chris Dickerson at 15, Monty at 14. 12 for Jenkins and 11 for Nez. Now we're on to the tweener par 4 right here. For these pros, they are all looking to get good shots and have an eagle opportunity. It's basically a big hyzer out and around the one lone tree that's in the fairway. And just make sure you avoid some bunkers along the way too.
Ryan taking the tee box. See if he can read the wind and put this one close.
It's a decent turn on it. He's going to be well right, but there's really no trouble over there. He's got about a 120-foot shot into the green.
Yeah, and of course, it's not up to our judgment. It looked like he may have gone off past the front of the tee pad there. Not worried about a penalty or anything, but can't help but wonder if that affected his plant foot and his shot.
Yeah. With some of these natural tee pads like this, it's so hard to tell whether they are foot faulting or not. No one's really going to call it in a tournament like this, but it could have messed him up for sure. What didn't mess up was this drive from Chris. That's wonderful. I think he's going to have about 50 feet for an eagle.
Yeah, picture perfect, safe hyzer play. Looking to get a 2 on this hole.
Wes, he had an eagle look in the first round, looking to do the same here. He throws big flip-up hyzers a lot, and this one is nice looking. I think he's hanging out with Chris, which is never a bad thing to do.
Yeah, great looking shot from him. Maybe he wanted a little bit more fade or a little bit more speed coming in to get a skip, but great shot either way.
Danny going to a different part of the hole that no one has played yet. Well right.
Taking some creative lines.
Yeah, shouldn't have too much trouble. It's pretty much straight up and down from there. Jenkins.
Ryan looking to approach close.
And
looks like he's done so.
So Wes, looks like he's lining up a step putt. First round he made a lot of them. This, flashes the chains. No good. He's going to have a tap-in birdie, though.
Good height and distance. Couldn't quite get it in, but an eagle on this hole is a bit of a bonus.
It is. I don't think he got eagled all day up to this point. Let's see if Chris can change it, though. Putt up? Well, that one just sailed on him.
Yeah, maybe the short miss from the previous hole was still in the back of his mind, but he's close enough that he doesn't have any trouble with that comebacker.
Not at all. Gets the straddle putt to fall down. Good birdie. Wes, I think he's basically in the exact same spot. He can more or less putt normal, though. He's got a tap-in birdie. That'll do. Jenkins, he'll tap in a birdie. And I guess Danny's approach from back there was pretty good, because he has a tap-in birdie as well. So star birdie on the hole. That's definitely one that you want to get a star birdie on. Now we're on to hole 6. It's a short par 3, 267 feet. You're going to see most of these players basically take a hyzer around the lone tree that's in your way. Don't go long. That's the only thing you have to worry about. Outside of that, stick it close, make a putt.
Ryan again holding on to that top of the box position. Throwing a high shot. This looks like it's pushing straight enough, and good shot from him. He'll be in the circle. I was a little worried with his height that he might have carried left, but looked like he threw a putter or something straight that he knew would finish.
Which, if it does go left enough, there is a little creek over there. I didn't really mention it because it shouldn't come into play too much for a lot of these pros. This is going to be the preferred line you see a lot of these people taking. Just go right, hyzer around the tree. He kind of went short of the tree, but he's still going to leave himself about a 25-footer.
Yeah, and after the skip that he got in the previous round, putting him so close to the OB, you wonder if he was taking a little bit off of that. Unfortunately for Wes, he just clips that tree coming in, the one to miss.
Danny, he's got this one high. Looking for a little stall. That one kind of comes up short of the tree, too. A lot of these players just left it well short of that tree. But you can see, even going short of the tree, not too much to worry about. Jenkins, he cans a nice 30-footer right there.
Yeah, a really solid putt from him. Gives the basket a love tap. Thank it for its services. Wes is going to try to keep pace.
And the plastic bag you're seeing on the ground, that was a CTP. They did CTP on this second round on a lot of different holes out here. Basically every par 3 it felt like. And Wes, oh no. He's been so on with that JK AVR. Just pulled that one a little right.
Yeah, just pushed it a little right, and you could tell that he knew it out of his hand.
Chris, what feels like a tap-in right now. He's been so automatic from inside the circle. And that one no different.
Drives it home nice and flat. That is a stark difference between the styles of putting between Chris and Wes, where Chris tends to putt his on low laser line straight at the basket. Wes tends to give it a little bit more push with a lot of hyzer. And sometimes you wonder if, unfortunately, Danny just a little short there. But on courses like this, where wind is certainly a factor, exposing the bottom or the top of that plate to the wind can really affect your putter quite significantly. So putts like that on that distance for Wes, maybe he came out of his hand expecting it to fade a little bit or carry a little bit to the left with that hyzer and just didn't get it. But either way, he'll try to correct off of that and move forward and continue to make some good putts.
Now we move on to the shortest hole on the course, 201 feet on this shot. The only thing to worry about is the water short. And you do have to worry, if you go long left, there is some trouble back in those bushes. But just don't throw it in the water. That's the worst thing you can do, because anything in the water is an automatic re-tee. And that's pretty much guaranteed at least Fourville at that point.
Ryan first off the tee, looking to get it across and safe. And he looks to have done so.
Oh, yeah.
Great shot. And that shed is, for the backhand throw, that shed is kind of the target. You can afford to hit the shed and sort of take a little bank towards the basket. Chris going with the sidearm route, which is I would say the more comfortable play if you've got it, to know that you're going to fade away from that OB towards the green.
He threw this first round, put it pretty close. This one he kind of puts into the bushes long. He's probably about 25 feet away, but could be a little obstructed in there. Wes looks like he's lining up a backhand hyzer. Threw it pretty well the first round, pretty much into the shed, and this one, much the same. I think he's might be in the exact same spot.
Yeah, and he and Ryan just threw that shot exactly how you want to. Danny's going to look to repeat, put himself close as well for the birdie. A little higher, a little straighter line.
Oh, yeah, that one's nice. He just missed a putt on the last hole. I'm sure he's looking to get one back right there, and you can see the trouble that Chris is in. I mean, he's trying to figure out a way to just get in there, sticking a leg down. Got to make sure you're behind the lie. I mean, with the new rule changes, you do have a little bit more leeway on where your foot can be.
Yeah, the lie is a little bit more friendly, but the foot fault rules are less friendly. So he's got to be very careful that when he putts, he doesn't fall forward, set his hand on the ground, step his foot or something, because that would be an automatic stroke penalty. But he's close enough. I feel confident that he'll give this a good run. We'll see what he's got to work with, though, that he's really obstructed in there.
Yeah, it looks like he was lining up a little backhand route, but just wasn't, I guess he just wasn't liking it. And now, I'm telling you, this is maybe the craziest putt I feel like I've ever seen. It's like a push, straight up and down putt that he's lining up.
Looks like he's doing an ultimate push pass or something towards the basket.
I can't imagine this shot is something that he practices too much.
This is a shot that I have attempted in tournament and was not successful by any means. So I'm hoping to see Chris show me how it's done. And he gave it a decent bid, but that's got to be frustrating for him to be so close and have to resort to such a putting method. Danny again. Just get that nose down. Didn't quite give it the height.
You can see he just kind of put his hands over his face right there like, what are you doing? I'm wondering what you're doing too, Danny.
Yeah, two really good opportunities in a row that have not fallen his way. Ryan, on the other hand, is just continuing his solid run. He's picked up another stroke on Chris here this round and really trying to keep that momentum going forward. Wes also close, looking to get himself another bird.
There you go. So both Wes and Ryan pick up a stroke on Chris, and he doesn't quite have a tap in, but I mean, for Chris's standards, it's probably going to feel like a tap in, especially how he's been putting today. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah, as long as he's not throwing another push pass, I feel pretty confident he's going to hit it from that range.
So now we're at the weird hole 8. This is basically an overhand hole of sorts or some type of stall backhand shot. It's a weird tee shot. We are not going to see the tee shots on camera. I don't have two cameras. There's no way to really get the tee shot and the landing without it. So we're just going to have to pick you up on their second shots. You can see Wes ended up in one of the trees, kind of short right, and he's got a flick putt coming up. Does it well.
Yeah, good approach. Tough to give it a good run from that stance, but...
Not to humble brag too much, but that CTP is mine. I threw an overhand eagle that was leaning on the pole.
Wow, look at you.
I know. Danny,
extra points for leaners? Is that how that works?
I think it is, and oh no.
Yeah, that's rough. Ryan had been putting so well, and then to not draw any medal at all, pretty close putt. Good to see Danny strike from that distance that he's been struggling with. See if Chris can hit this putt, take back a stroke from Ryan.
There you go.
A little high, but no worries. And now Ryan just needs to forget about that putt and get back to driving it home like he's been doing for the rest of the round.
There you go. Good comebacker on the 17-footer.
Yeah, solid putt. Unfortunate bogey for him on this hole, but it's interesting that was a... I guess we didn't see his...
Yeah, there was a shot that we missed. I think he threw it into the shrubs in front, and we missed that.
I see.
So now we're on to hole 9, last hole of the front part, and it's a tight tee shot. You have to weave it in between the two trees off of the tee. After that, it's pretty open. We saw Chris, he nearly aced it first round, had a tap-in birdie. He's got to be throwing like an M2, 3, or 4 of some sorts. Oh, watch out for your bag, Chris.
Yeah, if you watched the last round, you saw him just absolutely pure this gap and throw the perfect flight with a mid-range. Looks to be a similar angle to the last round. See if he can hold that turn like it did before. And
no, it does.
Yeah, a great shot from Chris.
Fades a little at the end, but he's left himself 15 feet instead of 5 this time.
Well,
we'll see be perfect, right?
We can't be perfect all the time, unfortunately. See if Danny can try to follow that. Unfortunately, he just clips the inside of that right tree, which is, I feel like, the most common mistake you're going to see on this drive.
Good correction from Wes. He nailed the tree in front of him first round. So this time he doesn't hit it. He gets a little bit more out there, but he still left himself about 50 feet. And Ryan, that was a very powerful turnover shot. It was like it was about 300, just low and turned over the entire way.
Yeah, not what I expected to see. Kind of a low screaming shot. It obviously worked out quite well for him, but I think most players you're going to see go with sort of a slower turning shot, let it glide towards the pin. But Wes here looks like he's really concentrating on this putt.
Mm-hmm. He would very much like to get this one, I'd say. Putt up. No, just short the entire way.
That's too bad. And hopefully he can keep himself in it, not feel too much like it's starting to slip away from him. Ryan, it's hard to say with what was going through his head on that, if he was pushing it too far past and just shorted it, but not what you'd expect to see from him. And Chris, with another perhaps obstructed putt,
I think by the
see
time
what he has to work with.
Yeah, I think by the time he gets in there, it's actually not going to be too bad. It's just taking a second to get back inside of there. And he has a pretty particular routine. Anytime he feels like he's not in the basic gimme range, he always double pumps, gets ready, then he goes.
Yeah, and he did put that in. You were right. He didn't seem to be too obstructed or anything, just taking his time like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see Wes wait for Danny to tap in his par.
There you go, Danny. Good save after hitting the tree on the drive.
Ryan to tap in as well.
Yep. Chris digging inside of there. He might have got CTP. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe he just stole it and said, no, if I don't get it, no one does. That's the end of the front nine, though. Chris Dickerson shooting hot. He is 7 under through the 9 holes at 19 under. Wes Monty at 16, Jenkins at 14, and Nez at 13. Paul, what you got to say about that front nine?
Really solid start by Chris. No real mistakes to speak of. A couple tough breaks, but see if he can pull away on this back nine or if somebody else can mount a comeback. Really excited to see the finish of this tournament.
Yep, back nine will be coming up soon. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Of course, subscribe for more. We will catch you on the back nine coverage.